Yeah, honestly, I'm just laughing about what I just witnessed there in the second half. Manchester United and Aston Villa, an absolutely dismal first half. But that second half exploded into life, and Manchester United took Villa to the sword eventually, inspired by Bruno Fernandes and Alejandro Garnacho. We are watching the beginnings of a superstar. That was a magnificent performance from the teenager. We really are watching him. What a perfect manager to be in charge of him at this moment in time. Bruno Fernandes. Can we stop playing Bruno Fernandes out on the right wing? Let's not try and accommodate Van der Beek. Let's not try and put him out on the right wing because we can't find an alternative to Anthony. Sod that. Play Bruno in the middle. When Bruno got played through the middle there, the game changed in that second half. Bruno, for me, inspired that second half performance from United. Well, not in terms of the defence, but in terms of how he played and the tempo that he played at and the energy that he played at. He deserved that goal. When he got that goal, he absolutely deserved it. Yeah, might have got a deflection, but Garnacho, he helped make that goal happen. And I've got to wax lyrical about Alejandro Garnacho. Because even at the age of, well, I think he's 18, 19. Did you get the contract signed, by the way? Get that contract out. Get that signed. Bumper contract, please. Maybe not bumper, but you know what I mean. Garnacho, Old Trafford lifted when he had the ball. And those sorts of players, they're the difference makers. They're the stars. They're the players that you can build futures around. He's dazzling with the ball at his feet. I'll tell you what, he showed a real maturity in some of the decision making that he had. And that run that he had down that left wing, beating Douglas Luiz, I think it was Callum Chambers, who basically threw his whole body in front of the ball saying, please don't score. But Garnacho there today, and that pass to Scott McTominay for the... Oh, stop it, Alejandro. They've got kids. They've got families who are watching this game. Wow. And it was a second half where Marcus Rashford really, really helped that turnaround. Won the ball back 4 times in the opposition third, more than anybody else. More shots than anybody else. Got the goal that helped start that turnaround. But it was just... I mean, it was littered with wicked photos. It was littered with, from an attacking sense, cracking performances. I will get onto the defensive frailties that we saw there. No. I mean, who could have thought that playing Maguire and Lindelof and Freddie McTominay was going to cause some defensive and midfield frailties? I mean, who could possibly have predicted that? But Ten Hag there, he's found more lessons out about his team in terms of what he can rotate and what he can't rotate. Look at Casemiro in this photo here. That's getting zoomed in on. Look at that, man. He's balmy. He really is balmy. If you're going into a scrap, you want Casemiro on your side. And that's what that second half kind of turned into. A bit of a scrap. Defensively, we were kind of all over the shop. But from an attacking sense, I'm going to rewind here and go back to Bruno. Bruno set the tempo there. Bruno has been out on that right wing because Ten Hag's tried to accommodate Van der Beek. And that's 3 consecutive starts of Van der Beek. We tried the experiment. Eric, you did everything possible to get Donny to try and turn that engine on. But it's not turning on. You need to put that into the garage. Don't know what you need to do. Probably need to ship him off. I don't think Donny was a ghost again today. I think he had 11 touches in the first half. I think Martin Dubravka had more passes than Donny van der Beek in the first half. Bruno, back in that number 10 role. Woof. United as a team just looked so much better. And I'm going back to it. I'm repeating it because it was just... It's a performance that bears repeating. Garnacho, man. It's not a case of remember the name anymore. It's not a case of saying he's... I'll tell you what, it's a little bit of a problem for Marcus Rashford. Because Garnacho there, he's got the star quality. It's not a case of just using him in League Cup games and using him in Europa League games. He's using him in Premier League games when he plays like that. And Marcus Rashford's been playing out on the left. Are we going to have to see Marcus Rashford get used to playing? And I'll tell you what, he did quite good today. There was a shot where he fizzed it and fired it just wide, and he could have gone down for that and got a penalty probably, but he stayed on his feet, good balance, and just fired it into the net. It feels like Marcus Rashford's going to have to get used to playing more centrally because we have to accommodate for this lad. It's not accommodate, we have to make space for him. Out on that left wing, Jadon Sancho, don't know what you're doing, bro, but we're looking at the birth of a proper top-level star here. Somebody, as I said, who makes you shuffle towards the edge of your seat whenever he has the ball. Old Trafford takes a collective breath in anticipation when Garnacho gets the ball at his feet. And then Casemiro comes in for the celebration. I tell you what, not just that pass as well. Anthony Martial back among the goals. Straight back in, Straight back among the goals. Great response by United, by the way. And I'm going to go into the frailties that we saw in that game because it wasn't a perfect game. Jeez, we just beat Villa 4-2. We conceded 2 against Villa. Conceded 5 against Villa in 2 games. But we won today. That's all that mattered. And Martial currently, I think the next steps in this progression under Ten Hag depend on whether or not this man's going to stay fit. It's a lot riding on his shoulders. It's why we need we need to sign a striker in January. None of this waiting for the summer bullshit. Do your job properly as a club, and you'll know your targets 6 months in advance. Pull the trigger. If you're going to buy someone in the summer, buy that person in January. Help the squad between now and the end of the season. It might be the difference between a Champions League spot and no Champions League spot. But Martial, lo and behold, we do look like a different team when we've got him there. We do. The movement's different. The tempo's different. The way we play, the passes that we attempt are different. We're a better team with Martial in, and I'm happy to see him back scoring. Obviously, he was supposed to play 60 minutes tonight, came straight off, and hopefully that means he's going to be fit to start against Fulham at the weekend because we need him there. But I tell you what, I'm gonna go back to waxing lyrical about Garnacho, about all the positives that we saw in that game because there was a lot of it. But from a defensive sense, we were kind of all over the shop, really. Maybe not all over the shop. That's a little bit harsh, but Aston Villa cut through us like a hot butter through knife on occasions. Dubravka, I thought he played okay. I thought he showed some decent footwork. He's not going to be too happy with conceding 2 in his debut, but welcome to United, bro. That's what you're going to concede goals when you're playing behind, unfortunately, Lindelof and Maguire. And Lindelof and Maguire, it is what it is, man. We know exactly what it is. I'm not even sure, genuinely, that Maguire knew that he was there. Was that Watkins? I think it was Watkins. That he was behind him until he had the ball. He didn't have the awareness to turn around and actually spot him. It was just sloppy. Second goal was unfortunate because it went in off the low, of course. And it was a little bit unlucky. But again, just sloppy. And basically, United's defence and Freddie McTominay, they needed our attack there to come and drag the team out. And that's where I think Ten Hag learned what he can and what he can't rotate. I think going forward, we were, in the first half, we were playing out from the back with the ball. We were winning the ball high up the pitch. We were pressing. From an attacking sense, I think we had good shape. Final decisions in the first half were all over the shop. I mean, I don't need to tell you that, but you could see that. But in the second half, when Bruno was back in his position, it clicked a bit more. Because Bruno's better in that position. He's better there than on the right wing. He might tell Ten Hag, yeah, I'll do what you want, boss. He's better in the number 10 role. Absolutely. But it wasn't just fit at Maguire and Lindelof, who I felt had a bit of a shaky game. Fred, I think, is a very specialist midfielder. You basically need to use him in a Spurs, like we did against Spurs. If you're going to play him really aggressive, really high pressing team, you're going to get a good performance from Fred. If you're going to try and dominate football and step off it a little bit and actually expect him to be really creative and crafty, you're not going to get that. That first half, when he delayed that ball to Rashford, I was like head in hands. Like, it was such an obvious ball. And he saw it, and Rashford made the run perfectly. Fred just delayed until Rashford was offside before he made the pass. It should have been 1-0 in the first half because of that. And Fred was just frustrating with the final balls. He's not got that creative energy in him. Something I want to say, look, McTominay, is it that photo there? No, it's not him. Is it that one there? Oh, God, where is it? Where are you, McTominay? There you are. Decent goal. Cracked the bar as well. It was a fantastic pass from Eriksen, who definitely made a difference when he came off the bench. But a quick note to McTominay. Bro, stop it. Stop with the dumb yellows, man. The aggression the physicality of his game is an asset. Stop making it a hindrance. Stop getting these dumb yellows. Use your noggin. You're playing alongside, hey, there he is, Casemiro. Learn from him. He's the king of Schneid. He's not sure how many red cards he gets, but he loves getting a yellow card and just knowing where the ref is, so what he can and what he can't get away with. It's a side to the game that McTominay has to learn. But I'm not going to focus on the negatives here. I'm going to focus on the positives. United 4-2 winners. Hopefully we get a decent draw in the cup. We probably won't. We'll probably get City because that's what happened when United in the cup draws. Come on, hopefully I've jinxed it there and we get a decent draw. But Bruno, inspirational in terms of setting the energy and the tempo that everybody else rose to. And Old Trafford rose for Garnacho, and we really are watching the start of a superstar's career, in my opinion. Top level. Get that contract signed. And I tell you what, Marcus Rashford, as I said, is going to have to try and probably realise maybe he's going to have to accommodate himself in the middle for Garnacho, because I don't think that left wing's going to be his anymore. Not with the breakthrough that we've seen in Garnacho in his last 4 games, from Sheriff to Sociedad, and then Villa away, and then that there. He's bursting. He's like a sunflower coming out. He's got to start on that left wing. Maybe not start every game, but the conversation's there. 4-2 winners. Let me know what your match reaction is. in the comments below. But drop a like on the video. Come on, Garnacho. Remember the name. Remember the name indeed. Oh.